Yo, what it do, what it do, what it do? Yeah. Y'all know what time it is, man. Special time tonight.
Told me keep it clean, fuck it, I'ma spin my verses. Told me keep it down, now I'm yelling and I'm cursing. All my shit is uppercase, nigga, fuck you and your cursing. Cursing and reversing, brought me back, they reimbursing. Now I'm doing me, still I feel I'm murking. I'ma blow the whole thing up, like I'm wrapped up in them turbans. Just me and Johnny Black, niggas swerving in Suburbans. It's immersive, got the permit, jumping Nicky, feeling Kermit. Seguimos con la rima y botellazo en la cantina. Lo que nunca se acaba, sigue donde tú terminas. Ando con la negra, larga 22 bien fina. Cuida donde camina, no te coja la neblina. Siempre se queda corto que el cabrón que subestima. No cambia el enfoque, estamos por encima. Con los guantes ready, mi equipo no perdida. O ganamos la correa o le arrancamos la salida.
They shadow banning us like crazy, bro. So y'all go ahead and share this, man. I'm about to have my boy allinmotionpodcast up in this joint. Que lo que hay, loco. Yo, my man's Terry. What up, Terry? Yo, alright, we got a show tonight for y'all, man. We about to have allinmotionpodcast on tonight, man. What it do? What it do, man?
What's going on, everybody? Thank you, sir, for having me on. Mayhem and Emotion.
Hell yeah, man. Mayhem in Motion podcast.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, man. So let's get to it, man. I ain't gonna take much of your time, dude. But yeah, man. Hey, you invited me to your podcast next week, man. I'm excited to be on it, man.
Next Wednesday, sir.
So you know what I'm saying? Everybody already knows what my podcast is about, and all that. So, we're gonna just talk about yours and what you're trying to do, with your platform. You know what I'm saying? Because when I heard you on homeboy Oscarito, Oscar's live, man, I was like, yo, this dude's kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? So
I appreciate that, man. Thank you, and thank you for your audience for having me on, man. I appreciate it. Yeah,
for sure, man. Anytime. So, yo, how did you start the podcast? Like, what brought it all into motion?
So, about 21 years ago, my mom sent me to boarding school, the program. I was associating with the wrong people, and it took. I didn't know after I went through this program and all these different seminars. Yeah. I didn't know that 21 years later I'd be doing a podcast, because I knew I wanted to help people after I graduated. I was, like I said, I was associated with the wrong people. Definitely headed down a path that I probably would have either ended up one or two ways, right?
Yeah, so, was this like post-military or before?
Yeah, it's post.
Before.
This is when I was a teenager, like a freshman in high school, freshman, sophomore. So yeah, that was This is pre-military, actually. Yeah, before the military.
Oh, okay.
So I knew from that point moving forward that I wanted what I learned and gathered, what I learned when I was there was really valuable. It could help a lot of people out there that are struggling. And then like I said, this is 22 years ago. Yeah. So I went through my life. I had a business. It didn't work out when I was 22. We joined the military, was in Iraq and Afghanistan. And then just recently, like you and I spoke about, I met along this journey, I met a lot of really amazing people. And and still meeting some amazing people, just keeping, like yourself and Oscar, you know what I mean?
Thank you, man.
For sure, absolutely.
Thank you.
And so the idea of what we're doing now with the podcast was kind of doing a rebranding. We've been live for about 6-7 months, since like October. The idea of rebranding is just to make it simple. That way, everybody that's not familiar with me, your audience, can understand it's about resiliency. And each one of the guests that we've already have interviewed have at one point, like they're all from different walks of life, but at one point, either fell down or just got back up after they've been knocked down, if that makes sense. Some more than others. Yep. I mean, with those stories we share and hope that it'll impact someone.
Yeah, definitely. I was going through, your podcast, just, kind of like just to set us up for tonight or whatever. And I was just skimming through, and like on your very first podcast, I looked at it in YouTube and I seen the description, and you were actually talking about your podcast, and you were just basically like saying that you're trying to give a platform to people, you know, suffering or that has gotten over, not over, but has kind of managed PTSD, whether you're in the military or in the civilian world. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like a lot of people think PTSD just belongs to, you know, the military, you know, just, you know, the military. But, you know, I don't know if people know this, but PTSD runs, you know, everywhere in the civilian world, you know, in the military world, just everything, you know. I think PTSD is just like, what is PTSD actually? Like, you know what I'm saying? Can you explain that?
Yeah, sure. So, and I talk about that. If anybody's familiar with Clubhouse, it's a networking platform similar to LinkedIn.
Yeah, I remember.
You and I spoke about that. PTSD stands for post-traumatic stress disorder. And I believe 1991, that's when they came up with that the government or whoever mental health organizations. But back in the day, just the military side of it, they used to call it shell shock, and that was World War II, Korean War, the Vietnam War. But like I have an interview with a woman that she helps patients, and she deals with breathing techniques and all different types of ways people that dealing with mental health, and she puts on different rooms on Clubhouse. So we had a really good interview. To your point, most trauma happens when we're either young or a teenager, you know, and then some of those events impact us. So for me, it could be like, you know, I don't really like walking in front of anybody. I have to walk behind people, or, you know, sometimes a loud noise. You know, for a woman, it could be like you know, she's intimidated by certain men because, you know, maybe she had a, you know, an encounter with a sexual assault by a male. Yeah, exactly. So it's a trigger, and that's what it means. It brings up triggers that could be, like I said, from either a sexual assault, combat, you know, a murder, a really bad car accident. You know?
Car accident, yep. It could be anything. I mean, you know, like, it's funny, like, I meet you kind of sometimes, like, people are meant to, like, meet each other, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've had, I think, a bad PTSD since I was maybe 3 or 4 years old. Like, there's a certain situation, and we can go into it, you know, on your podcast. I won't even mention it on here, so just so we could just summarize through it. It's just and just like it beat me up. It still kind of does beat me up till this day. Like, I think about that situation every day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's not, but I wouldn't say like it would be PTSD because I never really experienced PTSD before, right? It just, I just call it trauma. You know what I mean? Like a traumatic, you know, episode or whatever that for some reason I think about it every day of my life for some reason.
Absolutely.
But I think, I don't know if this is PTSD or not, and I know you're not a doctor, but you tell me your opinion. But I'm working at somewhere like that's down south, right? So I'm going through all these back roads and stuff. And then I hit a road, right? I did not know this was the road, but at that time when I hit this road in the daylight, I got chills going through my body. And then I just started having flashbacks of that time I was in a bus, you know, in a dark bus with a bunch of murderers and just crazy shit going on in this bus, right? And then I remember that the window was a little like 4-inch window all the way up top, but you're shackled to your seat. So when I'm trying to look up, all I see is like country roads and a few mountains. And then I swear to you, it felt like I was back in time there. But then my dad he said something to me that kind of snapped me back to reality or whatever. And I was honest with him. I told him straight out, I was like, man, I just caught this like flashback. And I told him, I was like, when I was going to prison right here up the road, like, and I mapped it, you know, Coffeewood Correctional Center. And then I was like, oh shit, it says 2 minutes down, you know, this road. So it was just like, my mind automatically knew where I was at for the first time since that day. You know what I mean? Which was like 2009. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. You tell me. Like, and I
Yeah.
wonder if that's like PTSD or something.
So
And that's the first time I ever like, experienced that.
it's deja vu, but also it's deja vu. Like remembering that event,
Mm-hmm.
like you're there, you're there again. It's deja vu, and it also it's happened to me before, like with certain places. Even like when my mom sent me away, certain people I was associating with, or certain noises, you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that are triggering, definitely bring you back into that moment when that happened again. So I mean,
Yeah.
there's ways that I've been to therapy and you know there's ways to combat that, and those are just being able to have like a breathing technique, or like some sort of power move that can break you out of that, because some people have panic attacks, which is really
Yeah.
serious,
Yeah.
very serious. And then they have to take medication because it's very serious. So
Yeah. That's wild. Yeah. My wife, she goes through that too. Like she has some panic attacks, and I know sometimes I kind of like before I used to just like, yo, you tripping. You know what I mean?
mm,
So you actually have one yourself, but then some people, I guess, like I tell her, like some people just can overcome it better than others, right?
yeah,
Or they, I don't know, because me is like with myself. Sometimes I could just brush off a situation, you know what I mean, and
mm,
not even it'll bother me, but it's not. I'm not showing that it bothers me or whatever. It's kind of like when I'm nervous talking to somebody. I feel it in my being that I'm nervous, but I'm not displaying it. You know what I'm
right,
saying?
absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's. I mean, the same thing happens to a lot with like actors and actresses, and it's the stage fright. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
they train really well. But yeah, definitely that can be difficult to overcome, especially like I said with women. And that's why I do that thing with a lot of women on my not have women that in certain particular industries when we're interviewing that are really 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 amazing at what they do. But no, I mean it's women, unfortunately, I'm sure you maybe more than me or any guy. There's so many stories about women that have been either the guys either sexually assaulted them, or something to that extent.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
women, they really have to. It's crazy out here, protect themselves.
Yeah, sometimes I got a homegirl that I feel like she scares all the men away because she's just so overprotective of her space or whatever. And we just had a joke not too long ago where she's kind of like chased somebody off without, and chases some guy off or
Wow.
whatever. But it's because like that traumatic, like you said, that trauma within the woman that
Hmm.
I guess it's that she's afraid to like let somebody into their like safe space or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but have you gotten a lot of like women to come on your podcast and like share their stories?
Yeah, I mean, the one woman, she actually went on Clubhouse. She is a little bit older than us. Her episode was called Independent Women. Yeah, she talked about not really so much of anything with trauma, but I mean, she touched on it a little bit, but more so like just how talk about dating, and then how some of that, she was African American, so she did touch on that, and how how it is being a woman of color, and she's amazing. She's done a lot. She's worked for the Howard Stern show in New York. She does real estate development. She does projects like that. So,
She's very
but
accomplished.
very accomplished, but at the same time, it's unfortunate. Number one, she's a woman, but also she's a woman of color, and she why it's important to me, because I was raised by two women, and I want to showcase women in certain industries that are dominating, and to show other
Yeah,
women out there that are listening that they can do it as well, right?
yeah. Is it hard to get more women on than men on like podcasts to like express themselves?
I mean, I'm trying to think. I haven't really. There's been one, and I met her on Clubhouse, the one I told you about. Her name Nicola. She does the rooms I was telling you about, and she shared about her stuff. and she actually flipped it on me. And it's kind of crazy. The interview, she flipped it and it started interviewing me. So yeah, it was wild because
it
she just asked
happens.
me about my experience in Iraq and Afghanistan. You know,
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for it. I just didn't expect it. But no, she talks about she has some. It's episode 6, I think. But she talks about you know, trauma like she experiences as a young girl growing up.
Yeah. And yeah, that's wild. And to speak on that, right? Like your trauma and like going to the military and stuff like that, like, you know, just to shed some light on that, I have family. You know, I never served. You know, unfortunately, you know,
Right.
I served a prison sentence instead of going to the military. You know what I
Right.
mean? But I have family, bro, and that's been to the military. Friends too. Like I've had a friend that went to the Marines, and his job
Mm-hmm.
was picking up dead bodies. You know,
We
and
talked about that. I
taking it.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't.
Crazy.
He wasn't right when he came back. Like my homeboy left my homeboy and came back somebody totally different than,
Mm-hmm. It
you
does
know,
that.
than, and like I didn't know, like we couldn't connect anymore. Like I always try to like talk to him, right, and try to get him to express himself or whatever, like, you know, have some connection or whatever, but it just wasn't there. He just didn't want to connect with anybody. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. Isolate.
Yeah, isolate. It's bad, yo. Um, but I can kind of relate to that, you know, as far as like kind of staying away from people.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
you know, I don't know, man. I wish, you know, there was something. You know, you probably know better than me. Like when people have like PTSD episodes or you know, get depression or anxiety, and you know their doctors are just feeding them medicine. Like what's your perspective on that?
It's tough, man, because some people need the medication.
Yeah, and you know, in some cases too, so they don't need that much medication, and it
Yeah.
messes them up even more.
I mean, I am a firm believer. Like I go to the gym. I try to go, you know, every day. I like to cook. So finding those things that are therapeutic for you to do uh, can help. And like to your point, and not you know not. I don't take any medication for anything. I mean, I take something for sleep at night. It's just like
Yeah.
it's sort of the 5-HTP, but it is a prescription. But it's just a for mood. It just helps me.
Oh, I'm
My
not.
sleep my sleep's all jacked up.
Yeah. Nah, I get it, yo. Hey, look, I'm not for not taking medicine or whatever, yo. My medicine is marijuana. I smoke weed every day, bro.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And like I can't knock somebody that takes antidepressants every day. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because in all
Mm-hmm.
reality, my antidepressant might be marijuana. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Might be, you know, a cold drink after work. Like, you know, people
Yeah,
gotta think about that too. You know what I'm saying?
moderation.
Yeah. And you know, like that's why like I don't like judging people even if they do take prescription medication or antipsychotics or whatever. You know what I mean? Because we
Mm-hmm.
all got our dose, you know, of something.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But yeah, so what we gonna talk about, man? I'm excited for
Oh,
was it?
I mean, I don't want to ruin it for people that are listening. People will listen to this because I want you to be. I mean, you know, we kind of talked a little bit about it. I want to go back and
Yeah.
then talk about things that I want to know about, and then some of the things that your audience and your friends they don't know about. Whatever you feel comfortable about sharing, because I
Oh
know
no,
you got.
I'm an open book,
So
and
we're gonna go.
you know what I'm gonna do too is like, you know, I've been really thinking about, you know, not thinking but brainstorming on a book, an autobiography about my life because
Mm-hmm.
it's literally been a book. I feel like, you know, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it could be turning into one. So I'm gonna use that as
Mm-hmm.
kind of a, you know, like a, you know what I'm saying, like a structure on,
This foundation.
you know, what the foundation of what the book is gonna be
Mm-hmm.
based on. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Absolutely.
be open. I'm a, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna be 100 with you all the way
I
because
mean,
I've always
if
been
you listen
waiting.
to some of them, I go in. So
Yeah,
you're
you go
welcome.
in, and
Yeah.
that's why I asked you what you was gonna ask me because I noticed
Well, I
it's
can't
like
do that.
it's
Well, you'll be
different.
yeah. I give. Sometimes I'm getting away from it because I've done it the last time. some people don't agree with this. I don't really. It's not that I have conversations like we do now, and then we've done on the phone to get to know who you are, and then there's things like I'll find out, and like the main thing what I try to do, I do it is your audience, my audience, or just anyone out there that doesn't know you or me. It might be someone new. You and I don't even know them. Yeah. How do I'm trying to paint a picture so that way they can understand or potentially be in that time when you were going through what you were going through, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, bro. I'm excited, man, to share my story. I'm excited to be on it, man, because I've like I said, I've heard a few, and every interview was different. You know what I mean? Same topics, but it was different.
Yeah, like thank you for bringing that up. Like we interviewed a doctor, in COVID during in ICU during COVID. We've interviewed Oscar. We've interviewed a good friend of mine who's in Iraq and Afghanistan. A few different guys in combat, veterans. So I mean, it's a wide people from all different walks of life. They have very interesting.
Yeah,
I have a good friend from the South Bronx that
from all walks of life, but definitely got some things in common.
Exactly. Yeah, we all share similar. We might be different from where we're from, but we all share similar experiences in one way or the other.
Yeah, definitely, man. That's a quote right there. I'm a damn sure clip that and make it. Make sure everybody tune into.
For sure.
So, like, if we do the podcast next week, when is like the potential release date of it?
Well, it would probably be February. I would say probably close to end of March because I got people in the channel or in the tunnel in the funnel channel. I got people already kind of lined up with dates.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to be more strategic about it. Like I like to have I like to have like I said women. At least one woman or two women a month if I can.
Yeah.
I
definitely. Yo, I can help you out with that. See if some people be interested in going on. I have a lot of friends that have been very resilient. You know what I'm saying? That grew up in these tough ass neighborhoods and kept it 100. I got a homegirl. She, we both grew up in the same hood. Her brother doing life in prison. She went to prison, got out. Now she's doing really good.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be the definition of resiliency. Seriously, especially being like yourself too. That's why when Oscar told me about you, I was like, I gotta get this dude because I've been to jail, and that's not prison.
Yeah.
Two
totally different ball games.
Yeah. And I mean, so I can. One thing I can maybe relate to when my mom sent me away to boarding school, but that wasn't a prison or jail. But
how did you feel, bro? Like when she sent you away on a boarding school?
Oh, it was crazy, man. I mean, they came in.
Did you feel like you felt like you got just shipped off and nobody wanted you? Like, how was that? Like, mentally, how was that?
I was pissed off. I tried to run away in South Carolina when I got down there. Which was crazy because if you know anything about South Carolina, some people that see you run in their yard, they'll shoot you.
Oh wow, that's wild.
Yeah, so I mean
that's right. They got open carry and all that over there, right? They got
South. Yeah, man, they don't play down in the South, So it's So I mean that was a crazy experience. Going through the seminars and just going through that experience was. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, Bunny Love too, man. Homie got, we all grew up.
Okay, yeah.
Same, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, you met a lot of great people. So have I, bro. You'll see, man. I remember in Anchor, I don't know how you got your stuff set up, but on Anchor, I used to click to see who was watching our podcast, the insights and all that. Because we got banned. Look, our podcast guys gotten banned, censored, the whole nine. Why? Because we wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Because we talk crazy all the time, bro.
That's good.
And then and it is what it is. That's our thing. We got separate podcasts. Like like Slim has, you know, the Word, you know, shout out at the Word podcast. You know, he talks about Bible scriptures and how to overcome and blah, you know, all that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, I got the whole political thing going on and the whole other movement or whatever. And then we both have Living in Mayhem, so it's like whatever, yo, we're gonna talk crazy on this channel. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I've met a lot of great people, man, and I used to click on the anchor thing to see the maps to where people were listening. And you know, we had a lot of people in what's that country? What's that country? Libya. We had a lot of people in Russia and South Africa hearing. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a lot. It was like maybe 30 or 40, you know, tops in each country, but it was just like, and every week it kept saying the same people, right? The same, you know, percentages. You know, it would go down or spike up or whatever. But just like I used to tell some, I'm like, bro, like I know we ain't make it yet or nothing like that, but like our voice is being heard in another country. Who would ever, you know, thought about us spreading the message out there? You know, even though we were talking crazy, we were talking about like conspiracy theories about like every week we would choose a different conspiracy theory and just like give our opinions about it. And they used to get, you know, knocked off all the time on YouTube.
Yeah, they do that. It's unfortunate. I think it's important for you to be everybody to be real and honest.
Yeah.
You know, so that's important to me.
Yeah, I just you know, like not to get, you know, political or anything because that's not the topic, but like I feel like I have friends that, you know, are on the other side, you know, that believe the opposite of what I believe. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, that's still my motherfucking best friend. You know what I'm saying? That's still my friend. Like, who cares if they voted for the other guy? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, we still can, you know, either smoke a blunt together, drink together, watch a movie together, you know, like go golfing together. You know what I'm saying? Like anything.
Absolutely.
And I feel like people are losing that right now.
Well, yeah.
It's a lot of tension going on right now.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man. I don't want to take too much of your time, man. So you wanna do a quick plug for your podcast?
Sure. Thank you, man. Again, man. Thank you for your time. Thank you to your friends and your audience. I appreciate it. You can follow All in Motion podcast. Again, we're rebranding, but everything stayed the same for the most part. On our IG, Instagram page, the link tree is right there. And then from there, you can click on. We are on. You can Google as well. All in Motion podcast on Google. It'll come up. We have on all the major platforms: Spotify, YouTube, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio. And we got some big things coming up. Like I told you about, I don't want to speak on it too soon. But
yeah.
We push the dates back.
You on Alexa?
I'm on Amazon.
Oh yeah, then you on Alexa. Then all you gotta be is like, hey Alexa, play the All Motion podcast.
Yeah.
Or you could be like, yo, hey Alexa, play the Living in Mayhem podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like it's that simple, yo. Get in the shower. Everybody has an Alexa.
I can't say, you know, the thing I told you about that's coming from my I don't want to speak on it, but you know, talking about the
yeah.
So you will be on there after we do the interview. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like you're all your stuff to your, you know. So yeah. That's what I wanted to finish and say that like that's a big thing. What I do is that we trying to help people. You know, just like what you did with this opportunity, and from that we're gonna, you know, merchandise.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, and then to get support. See, what people lose sight on, right? Everybody's always quick to compete. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And people fail to realize, because a lot of people on Instagram are not part of the podcast community.
Right.
Because Instagram lives and the podcast community are two totally different communities, bro. You know, because the podcast community, and you know this, and all podcast platforms, everybody is very supportive, especially the up and comers. They all support each other. It's supposed to be a community, just like you might not be aware, but there's a lot of podcasts in Atlanta and New York, and they all, the reason why they both blew up, like the Brilliant Idiots, Flagrant 2, you know, the Beauty and the Beast. Like,
you know,
there's
the one
a lot.
in Miami, the one in not to cut you off, the one in Miami called Fresh and Fit.
Fresh and Fit. I heard of it. It sounds familiar.
Them guys, man. I don't see. I don't like what they do because they. I mean, listen. I shouldn't say this. I think that they're smart when it comes to business and marketing. I personally don't like the way they treat women guests when they come on the show. I'm not saying they're not good at what they do, but if you watch it,
yeah.
All I'm going to say this, and I don't want to. They have a lot of women on there from OnlyFans. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
And the way they bring them on and interview them, this is no offense to any women out there. Listen, I was raised by 2 women. I love women. But the way they sometimes talk to some of those women, it makes other women, not in the States, in the States and outside, it makes women look bad.
Yeah, nah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, they chose to go there, and they know how they. You know what I'm saying?
They walk into it.
But that's their thing. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody has their thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, like even Miami, like now since you mentioned Miami, like they all support each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's why like Homeboy put Homeboy on, so Homeboy got on, and he put his Homeboy on. And that's how it goes in the podcast.
I mean, I told you, I was telling Oscar, I'll do the same with you, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm really happy that, again, thank you for this opportunity because it's being on the platform. You know, you introduced me to your friends, your audience, and I plan on doing the same. And that's how you grow. You know, and I'm gonna learn from you, man, because I know you're doing you teach. You're not that I couldn't do it myself, but I'm a little older, and that's not an excuse. You know, they were saying if you have a business on Instagram, you need to be doing 3 stories a day. I'm just like, what? I got a job, you know what I mean? I got time for 3 posts and 3
yeah.
I mean, but I get it though.
Time management, bro.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a lot of Andy Frisella, yo.
Okay.
Time management, man.
Yeah.
I know he could be a bit cruel, but you know, time management is everything, bro. Like if I'm not even trying to sound nasty or anything, but if I'm at work and I have to go take a shit, I go take a shit, and then I edit a video while I take a shit. So I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You know, if I'm on the way to work and I'm not driving, then I'm on the phone editing while I'm going to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, smart.
Yeah. You know, like I try to utilize every single bit of my day. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that's what billionaires do. Billionaires don't take, you know, breaks. You know, like my job that gets me tired is remodeling. You know what I'm saying? Editing videos and all this other bullshit is not tiring to me. You know, I love to do it. You know what I mean? I love remodeling too, but physically it gets tiring.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But everything else is like I love to do, so I don't even see it as work. You know, I just do it. You know what I mean? And a lot of people like what's up, my homeboy Berto. You know what I'm saying? My brother from another mother. He says, you know, I'm a little like cruel, you know, sometimes, but it's just like sometimes that's just who I am. I know I gotta work on things, but you know, it's just I just get shit done. That's it. That's all I know. Get shit done. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. No, I mean, no, man. I like what you're doing, man. And I'm gonna get with you offline because I told you about the woman I'm be interviewing coming up in New York. Did I tell you, mention her? She just got done with New York Fashion Week. A person I met off Clubhouse.
Okay.
I'm doing an interview.
She got done with Fashion Week.
Yeah, New York City. She's a photographer. She does all vintage photography. So she set it up, and she's gonna do a legit video, like a video with her. It's her production team. But no, I want to get with you though because I want to start doing video this year, and I know I want to do it. You know, I want to I want to do it right, and I definitely want to, you know, pick your brain.
Yeah. I'm still perfecting my craft, so you know, I'm gonna let you know everything I know, bro. I am not stingy with the knowledge I have because I remember when I ain't know shit and I was losing sleep because I needed to learn how to edit.
There's so much stuff to do, isn't there? Like I told you all the stuff I got coming up. You know, I have that. you got to deal with, and then I start working a new job I told you about with the government again, right? So it's just right back to your point.
This is a lot. There's a lot on your
management.
plate. Yeah.
Time management. You know what I'm saying? Because, the podcast is really important to me. And I appreciate what you said about, like, my friend called me Oprah. Because you're hearing some of them, I go in, because I want people out there, be it women or men, to really, relate to, like my friend's wife. I could never imagine being a doctor in ICU during COVID. Like, she had to tell a lot of families, man, I take them off ventilators.
Sorry,
You know what I'm saying? So that interview hasn't come out yet. I don't want to ruin it, but I mean, I'll share that with you and your audience for a little bit. But she broke down a lot, man. And when that resiliency, she might not be, she's from Nigeria, right? She maybe not went to prison, but that story, and that's what we're going to bring out when I do the interview, is similar to what she had experienced being a doctor. I mean, she had 3 patients one night code. So when you code in a hospital, that means that your heart stops, right?
Yeah.
So your experience, what she's been through, it's all about resiliency.
Yeah, definitely. We all been through something.
She could have quit that, you know what I'm saying? She could have quit. But you didn't quit. You didn't quit on yourself. That's the biggest thing,
And also, everybody thinks differently, man. People need to understand that. Like that doctor that was a doctor, during COVID.
My friend,
and seen a lot of deaths. Just say she's, let's just put it in this perspective, because the people in my crowd and my fans, they'll automatically say, well, she's getting paid and blah, 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 blah to diagnose people as COVID patients or COVID deaths or whatever. Quick to say that, right? But then sometimes when I'm having one-on-one conversations with somebody, and I'll be like, but have you ever thought about all the people they've seen died, and maybe that's the reason why they think like that? Even though I don't agree with the doctor, you don't agree with the doctor, but can we at least understand why recognize why they think like that? And then, like I said, you can still coexist with somebody with a different mindset than you. You know what I'm saying? It's just that I think life is meant to be 50-50. Politics is meant to be 50-50. The world is meant to be 50-50. That keeps checks and balances, a perfect balance. You know what I'm saying? When one side is trying to overcome the other side, and that side is trying to overcome the other side, and that's when we all are fucking up, and it's all gonna go downhill. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man.
But yeah, man. Hey, everybody, man, catch my man's All in Motion podcast. Go ahead, follow him. YouTube, anywhere, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Alexa. Just say, hey, Alexa, play the All in Motion podcast. And
hey,
boom.
You gonna share this to collaboration?
Yeah, definitely. Cool. I'll do that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. I'll do that.
No, man, I can't excited for next week, man.
Yeah, me
Wednesday,
too.
I think that's the 20. Let's see this. I don't know if I can. It was the 23rd, I think.
Yeah, something like that. I just know it's Wednesday.
My bad. I got it right here. It's it's next. I got it out of here. Oh my gosh, what is going on? Yeah, next. I'm sorry. Next Wednesday, 23rd.
You good?
Yep.
Yeah, this Wednesday coming up, the 23rd, I'm gonna be on the All in Motion podcast.
Right.
Y'all gonna have to wait for the release.
That's why because a lot of people do it live, like you do it right now.
Yeah.
I like it because you got to build up that. You
got it in your pocket. It's just like artists. Artists make music. They don't release everything. They put it in their pocket. You know what I'm saying?
To that point, I got content from back in when I went back and some friends that are veterans from like November, December. Yeah. Because it's not the right time, and you should know this. You've been doing this long.
Yeah.
You don't just throw anything out. And I want to bring up. Can I bring up one more thing before we close out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I want to get your opinion about this. Because this is your show, but I'm getting to the point where there's people, and I'm sure this has happened to you. Come up to you, hey, Toro, can you put me on your podcast? Can you interview me or interview my friend? Has that ever happened to you?
Nah, bro, it hasn't, because everybody's like, yo, because I believe the exact opposite of what they believe and what we talk about on our podcast.
Right.
And what they've heard me say, they're like, yo, y'all crazy over there. Y'all talk wild, yo.
Right.
And I'll be like, yo, let's do a podcast. And they'd be like, nah, bro, because if they hear this at my job, I'm getting fired. You know what I mean?
That's true.
So it's different. Like, your podcast is way different because everybody's probably so they want to go express it. They've been waiting their whole lives to express themselves.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of like me. I've been waiting. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Like, the reason I'm saying that is because them people are probably bothering you, like, because they've been waiting their whole lives.
But I don't. Those people that
you know what I'm saying?
The people that come to me, I'm not really interested in doing an interview though.
Exactly. They should make their own podcast if they really want to do it. You know what I mean?
Because you know this. You're an artist in the sense of you put out you capture that moment in time. Like you're like me, the platform. You're the bridge, giving people the opportunity to get to one place to another.
Yeah.
And you're not just gonna put any content out there.
Yeah. I mean, we do lives now because we used to do post edits and everything, and when we would release, I would literally, back when I was a rookie, like editing video, like I would literally spend 2 whole days editing one podcast.
Jeez.
And then waiting for my slow ass computer to upload it to YouTube, and then promote it, and then just for YouTube to delete it 3 days later. So I'm like, you know what? From now on, we're doing lives. That's it. And then YouTube was like, oh, you can't do lives until you have 1,000 subscribers. You know, and then we didn't have 1,000 subscribers, so boom, we couldn't go live there. So what's our last ditch effort? Let's go to Instagram. But you know what? I don't regret it because I've met a lot of dope ass people on Instagram.
Yo, the one thing I want you to check out, it's on my YouTube and it's on my IG. It's not I can't upload it to the other platforms. Have you heard of StreamYard?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about getting into that. I'll talk to you offline about that because
I know about StreamYard. I actually worked StreamYard for somebody else.
Okay, cool. So I got interviewed by another podcast. A guy off of Clubhouse interviewed me on StreamYard. I just like the fact that you can stream YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn all at the same time.
All at the same time, yeah. And a bunch of other, like Getter. Like if you got the stream key and the stream URL or something like that, the HTML, then you link them together on StreamYard and boom, you're going live automatically.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I know how to work all that. So if you let me know, if you want to learn about that, when I go over there on Wednesday, I could just I'll take my laptop and I'll log on real quick to show you like all the stuff you could do.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, do that for sure. Let's do that.
And then you can separate the voice from the video, so you can edit your voice and then post the video somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And it's all saved on the cloud. So it doesn't take none of your computer like memory unless you download it. Yeah, so StreamYard is good.
Wow.
He said like you know damn well what an HTML is. He a coder.
Oh, he's a coder? Yeah.
But yeah, man, it was a pleasure having you on, dude.
Thank you, man.
I'm excited, man. Everybody, man, go over there on the All in Motion podcast and hit subscribe. Follow him, yo. And if you got Alexa, you can say All in Motion podcast.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man. All right, man. I'm going to holler at you, man. You have a blessed night. Everybody on here, y'all have a blessed night, man. Love every single one of y'all. Thank you for supporting us, man.
Yeah. Same old shit.